Have you ever just stopped and wondered how we go from a simple idea to a machine that can actually think for itself? Well, today we're going to trace that exact path. We'll dive into the huge world of artificial intelligence, then we'll zoom in on the focused genius of expert systems, and finally, we'll see how all that brain power gets a physical body in the world of robotics. But before we get into all the nuts and bolts, let's start with the one question that really drives everything we're talking about today. What even is man-made thinking power? And this is more than just a tech question, you know? It's really the idea that connects everything we're about to explore. And to answer that, we have to start with the biggest idea of them all, artificial intelligence. I want you to think of this as sort of the big bang of our journey today, the very beginning of trying to create a mind, completely from scratch. At its very core, AI is all about simulation. It's this incredibly ambitious attempt to take what makes us humans intelligent, our ability to reason, to learn from things, to solve new problems, and then translate all of that into computer code. The goal here isn't just to make a machine that can calculate faster, it's to create a machine that can genuinely think. If you strip away all the complicated jargon, AI really just boils down to this one simple, powerful phrase. Artificial just means man-made, and intelligence is just thinking power. That's it. It's the most direct, no-nonsense way to understand the entire goal of this field. Okay, so we have this man-made thinking power, right? But what's it made of? What are the ingredients? How do you actually go about building a machine that thinks? Let's peel back the layers and take a look at what's under the hood. Now, you might think AI is all about computer science, but it's so much more than that. Think about it. If you want to simulate human thought, you first have to understand human thought. And that's why AI is this incredible mashup of all these different fields. It borrows from biology to model the brain, from psychology to understand behavior, even from sociology for group dynamics. And then all of that gets glued together with a whole lot of math and computer science. So all of those different disciplines are laser-focused on one single purpose, to copy these three core human abilities. Can a machine reason its way through a new situation? Can it learn from its own mistakes? And can it solve a problem it has literally never seen before? That right there, that's the ultimate test of true artificial intelligence. Now, it's super important to know that not all AI is the same. You can basically break it down into two main flavors. First, you've got what's called weak AI, or sometimes narrow AI. This is the AI that we all use every single day. It's an absolute genius at one specific thing. Siri can set a timer perfectly, but it has no concept of what time even is. Then you have the other kind, the holy grail, strong AI. This is an AI with the same kind of general, adaptable intelligence as a human, something that can learn and reason across tons of different, unpredictable tasks, whether that's driving a car or composing a piece of music. And that idea of a really specialized AI leads us perfectly into our next topic, expert systems. If you think of general AI as a broad intelligence, an expert system is like a genius in one and only one field. You could almost think of it as AI with a PhD. An expert system is designed to do one job, but to do it at the level of a world-class human expert, and sometimes even better. It's like taking decades of experience from a master geologist or a veteran doctor and basically bottling all of that knowledge up into a piece of software. So how does a system like this actually work? Well, it's got three main parts. First, you have the knowledge base. Just picture a massive library, but it's only filled with books on one very specific topic. Then, you have the inference engine. This is the brain of the operation. It's like the master librarian who's read every single book and knows how to connect all the dots to find an answer. And finally, you have the user interface, which is really just how we walk up and ask our question to the librarian. And these things aren't just theoretical, not at all. They've been around for decades, making a huge impact. You've got Deep Blue, which famously beat a world chess champion. There's Mycene, which helped doctors diagnose bacterial infections. Or Prospector, which helped geologists find new mineral deposits. Every single one of them is like a digital master of its own craft. So why go to all this trouble? Because unlike a human expert, an expert system is unbelievably consistent. It doesn't get tired, it never has a bad day, and it can work in environments that are way too dangerous for people. It delivers that top-tier expertise 24/7 without fail. So far, we've pretty much only talked about minds and specialists, things that exist purely as software. But what happens when you give all that intelligence a physical body? Well, that's when we take the leap into the amazing world of robotics. Put as simply as possible, a robot is an AI with a body. It's a machine that takes digital instructions from a computer and turns them into physical action in the real world, whether that's welding a car door with incredible precision or carefully rolling across the surface of Mars. So what exactly separates a robot from just any old machine? Well, there are a few key things. It has to be able to sense its environment, even in a very simple way. It has to be controlled by a computer, and crucially, it has to be able to do something physical. And usually we build them to do the jobs that are either too dangerous, too dirty, or just way too boring for a person to do. And their impact is truly everywhere. They're the backbone of modern industry, assembling our cars and our phones. They are on the front lines in the military, disarming bombs. They're in our hospitals, assisting in incredibly delicate surgeries. And they are exploring planets that we can't get to yet. They are a fundamental part of our world, right now. Okay, let's take a quick step back now and connect all of these dots. We've gone on a journey from a purely abstract idea all the way to a physical machine that's out there acting in our world. The whole progression is perfectly logical when you look at it. We started with this huge, grand idea of artificial intelligence, that's the mind. Then we saw how that mind could be focused into a highly skilled expert system, that's the specialist. And finally, we saw how that intelligence could be given a robot to act in the world, and that's the body. Mind, specialist, body. It all flows together. And that brings us right here, to the present and to the future. We have successfully created these three connected things: the mind, the specialist, and the body. The fundamental building blocks are here. So the real question, the one that is going to define our future, is what will we, their creators, ask them to do next?